Well, boys, we hit the jackpot this time.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So you may know that we make skis and snowboards. What you don't know is that we do actually make wakeboards as well. This is a wakeboard that we have made, and I'm going to be finishing off the rest because he had like a bulk order, and I just thought it'd be quite cool to show you how it's done.
What follows is a brief construction montage.
Right, okay, so what we've done here is we start off with our plain wood core, and we lay across our template. Might not be the right size, but you'll get the idea. And then what we do is we'll go around with the router, which is this tool here. If you don't know what a router is, shout out routers. Once we do that, we'll go around and it sort of almost it routes out this trench, which follows like the direct shape of the template. Then what we do is we fill that with an epoxy resin. It's a more flexible resin than the standard stuff that's used in the rest of the board, but it's effectively what this does is it waterproofs the wood on the inside with this sort of like protective layer. It also stops against like bashing and things like that, and just gives it more of a durable edge. So one thing you do get with pouring the epoxy, because we've mixed it quite a lot, you're putting air into the epoxy, so you get little bubbles, which you can see along here. And by going over it with a flame, we'll just see those bubbles sort of disappear. So while we leave this one to dry, we'll start work on this other one here, which is what we've sort of made earlier. It's sort of set and gone hard. So you can see that's a much more durable edge now. And it's tougher than the wood, and obviously it doesn't absorb the water in the same way that the wood would if it was on the side. So the next step for this one is we're going to plane it down to the desired thickness. The thickness of the board really does affect the way it flexes, so getting that right is absolutely important. This router sort of goes in. It's got two little marks which fit into these sort of pre-made. Again, it's a jig, so it's sort of the template that we use, which sort of marks up and make sure we get the same hole every time. This is for a different wakeboard setup, so we're just going for the ones in the straight line, because that's the desired binding fit that we're going for. So yeah, that's the finished core. And what we're going to do with this now is we're going to put the inserts into it, which is sort of like a temporary tack, and then we're going to cut all the fiberglass and carbon that we'll need for the rest of the board, and then it's putting it into the press. Yeah, so we put it in the press, we're going to bait the wake, and then it's going to come out, and then it's going to be routering around it, sanding it all off, and giving it like a base grind and a wax before we then give it to the customer who's actually coming around to collect these. We might actually go out and shred them as well. So I'm just going to temporarily glue these in. This isn't like a full sort of hold, this is literally just to hold it in until we build the board up with the epoxy and everything. So here we got the top sheet and the base. I will show you how you make those in another video. I get my pen to move these center lines from the bottom up to the top. Now our first piece of carbon on. Right, so that's in the press now. It's time to bake the wake.
7:59 a.m.
And there we have it. That is the rough beginning of a wakeboard. So we just need to cut this out, grind it, and get it waxed and ready to ride. So there we have it. That is a finished wakeboard, waxed and finished on the base, with the sidewalls all nice and looking smooth, and it's all in good shape. Hopefully we can get a little shred out on one of these this weekend, because I think Will, who is the owner of the Disciple board company, yeah, is coming to collect these boards that we've made for him, and yeah, hopefully we should get a good shred in. Right, so yeah, so we've shown you the process now of how we make the wakeboards. We've actually just got some clips of the Wake Disciples guys, getting some clips on them. Fortunately, I couldn't actually go on; they were fully booked. So yeah, we'll definitely be back here again and maybe get some more content. Maybe just trying out the wakeboards ourselves and seeing what we can do. Yeah, go check out the t-shirts, still for sale. I think we're actually doing a discount on those at the moment, so if you head to the Instagram, all the details on there. But yeah, that's a wrap for today. Go get some food.